Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. This is another, hour of power of the creator's creation. As I continue to do my work on this project, been having a good time with it, and Jesus, that scared the hell out of me. Been having a good time with it, and come up with some really good ideas. Whew. That back there is my mead journal. For those wondering, I was just working on some stuff in the background while I was waiting to hear back from Wolf, who is currently, unfortunately, not around. Thus, we're going to continue on. The only thing I've had since is I've been working on the name for the Emperor, calling them the Rising, to be looked upon as if they are God in the making. Most consider uh, the Emperor to be divine, and thus all edicts from peace to war are considered to be zealous acts to act upon. I'll come up with a better phrasing for it later. Okay. So we've got pretty much everything down for that. We've got the kings and queens. Something I wanted to work on, what actually caught my attention this morning. I'll come up with a better name for this later. Actually, what is Gaelic? English to Gaelic. Probably gonna actually do it to German. Scotch. Let's see. What if I go to German instead? I like that. Ska. I think that's what we're gonna call it. Let's make a note of it. Let's see. How do I do that? A. There we go. We're gonna copy that. There we go. Okay. Go ska. And we are gonna put a simple thing in here to that. And we're actually going to go into the dwarves and make that one of their tradable resources because, as we all know, alcohol is very tradable. And we'll call this to be a hill dwarf alcohol. The Ulivari, who we've worked on a bit and will be continuing to work on as time goes on. Now, I think for the most part, I would consider them done. And I'd have to go back through and look at them a little later. They're probably one of the more well-known races I've worked on, just because of the fact that I have what's the word I'm looking for here? They are one of my main races I really enjoyed. And then I'm going to be doing I'm gonna change this to exports or trade goods. Yeah, because there we go. Ska. And that will be one of the items we'll talk about later. Perfect. Okay. Equivalent to, yeah, so that's fine. And one of the things we're going to do for them is we're going to start working on their economic stuff. So a big one for them is I'm actually going to do a, what I'm going to call, okay, let's go back to Japanese for this. I want to see what they would call a fireball in Japanese. Kakuya. I like that. I'm gonna do it this, and this is gonna be a spicy spiced wine. We'll go red wine. And so, okay. This drink is considered extremely rare outside of the Tiefling homelands due to the need for and we're gonna call it ember salt instead of just salt. Ember salt for the spice known only as ember salt. This salt, when diluted and mixed into what many tieflings consider an almost blood-like wine, causes it to have an extreme spicy aftertaste, to which many look upon it with disdain outside of the tiefling lands. Alright, and then we're going to call this cinnamon. Cinnamon. And so the reason I'm actually making this a natural resource is because of the fact that this is going to be something due to the minerals in the territories. Let me do that. There we go. A sort of brown spice that can only be found in the Tiefling lands. This salt, or this spice, comes from the minerals in the ground all around the beaches of the Tiefling. Said to have healing properties and have a strong scent. It is most well known for being used in baked goods and in hot drinks. There we go. And I'm actually going to put a thing here. Instead of just doing that fish, we're going to do the Pimple Shark, because we can't forget that thing. A shark known to bite its victims nearly in half and swallow them home. This gray shark with strange dark green and purple pimples on it has a special poison in its teeth that causes leprosy on anyone it bites that survives. It's a long sentence. We'll come back to it later. Leprosy. There we go. Okay. This shark, however, is considered a rare trade good for not only its poison sac, but also its delicate taste that is said to put even the strongest constitution into a euphoric state. This, however, if prepared by an amateur or by any other than a master chef from the Tiefling lands, however, this meat can be just as deadly as the poison sac itself, for you cannot eat it in the slightest bit raw, if any, for worry that any of the blood or any of the tainted blood would get into the victim or the consumer. All right, there we go. There's a big one. All right. I'm not going to bother with these two things as they're not really all that big of a thing. I haven't thought about trade routes yet, but for the coinage they're made of, what the value is. Okay. Let's stick with gold. And then instead of, we'll stick to copper for them, as they would probably be recognized within the whole thing. Golden coin typically weighs the same amount as a dwarven gold coin. The only slight difference is its oranger coloring. This has to do with the fact that much of the gold ore in the Tiefling lands is mixed in with the cinnamon for good luck before pressing the mark of the current rising emperor into the coin. Typically, a silver coin have the local, what's the term? Kosh. Okay. The local kosh imprinted onto it. This coin will be recognized anywhere due to its weight, and the marking only holds identify that this coin was made in a specific region. However, unlike the gold coin, the silver coin is only allowed to have so many made per kosh, and thus each new kosh can only smelt round coins with their personal mark on it. And then it's going to be the same thing with the copper coin. Typically, copper coin will have the local, I think it's Katu, imprinted onto it. And then again, we'll just copy and paste these. Oops. Because this is basically going to be the same thing. Okay. May a specific, however, unlike the gold coins, is only allowed to. Alright, yep. And similar to the silver coin, the Katu can only print smelt roughly 10,000 copper coins with their personal mark. Okay. So we've got trade goods. I'm going to remove this stuff because honestly I don't think those matter. We're going to keep anatomy for right now. The founding I'll come back to later. Don't need that note now. Okay. We're going to do past rulers. What is this? A rank heading 4. This will be heading 5. Yep. And then, whoa, what? Control Z. Oh, it's because I hit enter at that time. And then all of these are going to be the same size as this, which is area 11. So let's make sure we do all these at the same type of 11. Oops, not 111. There we go. And we're not going to make any notes besides their names for right now. I am going to do BS again. We may come back later to them, but for right now, I don't think we need to. Let us do though, let's set it up to where it is. Let's do some spacing. 1.5, there we go. Makes it a little easier to read. Okay. I think that works for us for right now. We do have the wars. Now the wars are going to be our next big thing. Let us go into history through the ages. Timeline. We haven't done the wars, and the world is always at war. That's the first thing you learn. Give me a minute. I just got a message from Calvin real quick. Oof, God. I just ate 2 pizzas too. Fucking hell, I feel fat tonight. Probably gonna do a secondary workout. Some new ideas from the list. Okay, so let's go in here. All right. Whew. So we have this one. Now they came to be here a little bit after this. They don't need to be in a war each time, but we definitely want to make sure that we do some wars throughout, because there's like the last flame where they don't really talk about it. Ooh. Which needs to be explained. And I think this needs to be a portion where the war begins in around this. So I'm going to insert, actually what we're going to do is this. Oops, I thought it was hitting shift. Okay, let's bring you all down one. And we're going to call this, so the last flame, let me see something. Let me get on the map real quick. Actually, I think this will be during the a war with the elves. I think that works. So we'll call this the War of the Last Flame. And we're going to go ahead and alt enter. And we're going to put this between the Tieflings and the versus the High Elves. Because we have no High Elves war at this point, so that'll work. And when are we going to put it? We're going to actually put it through the whole time period. Zen to 1800. We'll call it 1801 though. Okay. And this will be basically the Japan-Russian War. I think it is a really good way of looking at it. So let's add this in here. Definitely gonna go down here a bit. Okay, and then let's also make sure we add it into the High Elves. Yep, here we go. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I've done on the High Elves as well. A lot of houses. Some more than others, just because I got bored. Okay, so we have this. Okay, War of the Orphans. And then we have this now. I think that works really well, so that'll give us kind of something to talk about in here. The difference here now is we're actually going to do that. Actually, this portion we will have go down on the bottom here in a minute. What is this listed as? This is just normal text and area 11. Okay. We're going to bolden that. Unbolden this. Hit Control V on that. Okay, let's look at the map now. Okay. Let's see. This would have been for Icy Dawn. Alright, that works. Tiefling versus High Elves War. Yes. Let's make sure we've got this back in the right style. A war between the High Elf Emporium and the Tiefling Empire. For the ownership of a town once called Mana's End, later renamed Icy Dawn. A war started by the Emperor. Wait, let's make sure this also, goes alongside the last. Where is it? Perfect. And it's Nis. Yes, Blood Ember. Okay. A war started by the Emperor. Nis, the last flame, Blood Ember. In hopes of outdoing all previous emperors, emperors of his nation. Nis would begin this war in hopes of conquering the entirety of the High Elven lands as his last great act. Unfortunately, during this war, at the Battle of the Iced Flame, a high elf duke with experience in extreme cold magic, let's just call it, managed to not only cut down the son of Nis, but as well what's the word I'm looking for? But as well capture and execute the but as well capture and execute Nis in a final act of pushing the Tieflings from the mainland and refuting any claim they had to the northern Elven territories. Alright, that works. I'm going to leave that for right now. We don't want to go too into detail because we want DMs to see this and oh, that'd be a really fun one to talk about. Okay, so I'm good with that. We can remove that. And I'm going to say that that's the main two wars that they're going to be in outside of their territories. Now, that does not mean we're not going to do some, actually, 190 to 88. 190 to 88. The Tieflings aren't at war with anybody during this. You know what? I'm going to drag this down. And we'll call this Beard Cutters War. And then alt enter Tieflings versus Mountain Dwarves. And then alt enter. We'll say this is going to be during his lifespan as well. Let's say 176 to 88. 176 to 88. BS. Oops. Alright. And then we are going to auto column width, resize, fit to data. Perfect. Ooh. Alright. Perfect. We don't need the high elves now. What I do need is the Beard Cutter War. Real quick. Races. Boom. And we want to go into Dwarves. And we want to go to the Mountain Dwarves. Uliveres. Again, a race I've worked a lot on, so just goes to show. I'm probably just gonna remove all this for right now. Yeah, it'll be easier that way. Perfect. Jesus. So Battle of Kin, there we go. It'll go here. Yes, because it'll be right between. That gives them a little history. Okay. Alright. We'll again do this. And we'll bolden this. Perfect. And it is Ariel. Oh, it's not 11 though. There we go. Alright. Okay. A war started and ended for between war started and ended by the mountain dwarves against the tieflings. This war would be over the simple trade disputes in which a massive armada of war galleons would be sent to the capital of the mountain dwarves in hopes of intimidating the king in Stonehold. However, this would backfire as the mountain dwarves would show off their latest incantations of explosive magic that caused iron balls to fire from the shores and destroying the majority of the fleet. The few survivors of the Tiefling armada would manage to swim ashore, and during a short skirmish, be wiped out completely, including the king at the time. What's his name? Yes. Oops, nope. But not before Emperor. Oops. Oh, that's not supposed to be king. Emperor. Not before Arxie could cut the beard of the prince, the princeling. Broken. Okay. This would later be seen as an extreme act of hatred or animosity in which Magnus would be forced to take his own life for the dishonor. The reason this war is labeled for so long, however, is not accurate to the actual war. Well, The war was only a few days in the year 88 BS. It took the Tieflings from 76 to 88 BS to build a war fleet and sail all the way to the mountain dwarf lands. Alright, I like that. Let's see. What did Calvin message me? Oh no, it's Wolf. What did Wolf message me? Whenever you're ready. Alright. Perfect. Adds some interesting context to, okay, to the series overall. I'm pretty happy with these. Alright. So I think we can mark the Tieflings as just about done. I think the only thing we need to do now is the city info. In which case we need to make sure all of these are listed out. The bright and shining capital, the nation of Tieflings, where all happens. We may have to pull up a map later, just to make sure I'm looking at the right place. Let's see. Alright, I'm just enjoying my cup of coffee here. Let's pull up map. Cities. Yeah, Yasmoina is going to definitely be the capital. Bright and shining capital of the nation where all happens. Okay. Things. A city of higher education, higher religion, and only the grandest of tradesmen and merchants can do business. Short and to the point, this city is made of a majority of the city is made majority of marble and andesite, which was crafted by the most expensive of dwarven slaves. Alright. We're gonna get rid of that because I don't need it anymore. Let's see, Wolf just pinged me again. Let's see what he said. Okay. Okay. A city covered in darkness with a volcanic theme to it. The majority of the city appears to be made in the theme of death, with large pillars of marble like bone for support, mass graveyards with ornate statues of every noble to have ever lived in the city. It is truly a grand place for death and darkness. Alright. A city that at first seems no more unusual in elven or Tabaxi Kingdom. However, Ketz is famous mostly for its vast slave markets and massive colosseums. I know I spelled that wrong. Give me a minute. Nope, that's way wrong. There we go. Colosseums. I'm actually going to leave it pretty simple for that one. Uta. A city of marvelous blue and purple stone, and over 7 bardic colleges in the square alone. This is a city of music where the constant sound of singing, dancing, and any other form of entertainment can be found, including its grandiose brothels of the highest quality. Alright. Oops. Okay. A city founded by Blenton the Bloodied and would be known for its fields surrounding it. From one side of the city to the other, one can see black fields with a golden overlay all around. It is said the soil is so rich in blood and iron that the wheat grown here turns an almost amber color, giving the bread a strong iron taste. Okay. Thus giving it the nickname the Blackened City. Alright. Alright, Saginaw. Okay. The only town to have been captured and kept after the peace with the High Elves. This city is a mixture of elven and tiefling design, causing for a rather unique clash of death and nature, giving a truly beautiful aesthetic to the city overall, with trees of green and statues of Tiefling Kush decapitating famous elves. Alright. A city of simplicity, with its major design being the university in which all Tiefling nobility attempts to attend. This university is known for teaching all 3 of the major classes of magic and training the greatest generals, rulers, and entertainers the Tiefling nation has seen. This is mostly due to the vast wealth of Clan Golm Dorlug, in which they do all that they can to persuade the greatest educators and minds from the Tiefling and outside realms. Alright. We have finally, I think, managed to do exactly what I wanted. We haven't talked about their unique schools of magic. We will later. I think here we shall discuss the main discoveries of this race. I'm going to say the unique technological discoveries. Unique. And the reason why is because I'm also going to consider technology and magic. I'm going to change it up slightly because I think that this stuff would go up there. Alright. Let's copy that, and then we're also going to get rid of that, and I'm going to change up the short synopsis here in a minute. And we're going to do that, that, and that. Perfect. And then lastly, okay, the Tiefling race seems to be one of unique design in which taking two of the oldest and most powerful races and combining them into one. Okay, wait. Teefling Race seems to be one of the most unique designs in which taking two of the oldest and most powerful races and combining them into one turned out to be a true detriment and deadly combination. Long sentence. I'll come up with a better way. We'll come up with something better later on. Noble are the Tiefling explorers, and strong are its people in enduring both success and defeat. However, a Tiefling without magic is a Pimple Shark without its teeth, a Dwarf without its beard. There we go. I think we can officially state that the Tieflings are complete as of now. I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this overall. Okay. We're officially going to call the Tieflings a species that has been made. We just have to come up with a new name for them. Let's go English to Japanese again. And we're going to go half demon. I don't like that. Akuma. What is this one?
Oni.
Oni? Well, yeah. Oni is pretty off. Wait. What if I do Hakoni? Hakoni. I like that. Hakoni. Hakoni. Half demon. Okay. I like that. We have officially completed the Tiefling Race. Only took 3 weeks. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next week when we work on another race. Thank you all, and I will see you later tonight with some Borderlands.